What's up, guys? Cascade Wing here on Universalis 3, and it's gonna be a tutorial on how to play the game. So first, you're gonna join the game. So first, to join the game, you have to actually join the group. The Universalis group will be found in the description of the actual game. But you first join the game. Let's look at the year and the era. I'll tell you how you're going to play. This is early medieval, so we're going to be looking at medieval countries. So the best thing I like to do is I like to come in, look around, see what nations are picked, and look around and see what might be needed for a good role play. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking a Muslim nation over in the Middle East would be very helpful to the role play. So I'm gonna pick that one out. So looking around in the area, I picked up Egypt, probably maybe Persia, maybe the Mecca area, maybe even Oman, something like that. But I feel like the most powerful dynasty in this area at this time period is the Fatimid dynasty. They're the Egyptian dynasty of the Muslim lands in the Middle East. They're most powerful at this moment, so we're gonna pick them. So I come on the map, and I'm looking at my territory. This is what the Fatimid territory was in 1000 AD, according to your atlas. So we're gonna model that on the map. So first, you pick a color. So you pick a color on here, any color you want, and you just map out your area. We'll get more specific later. I'm trying to make this more realistic, more look nicer, make this Egypt look a bit nicer, because you can't control the desert, obviously. So I'm trying to make it a little bit nicer as far as that goes. It makes it look more realistic, And this is the best way that I think to play, in my opinion. And there we go. There is our dynasty. There is the Fatimid dynasty. So the first thing you'll want to do after you map your country is you'll want to go online and then look up what your nation did, who they were, what their leader was, what their capital was, and what their nation, a map of their nation, where all their cities are. That's what you want to do next. So I'm trying to make this tutorial fast. So this is the best map I can find in a quick period of time. So I'm looking on here. I'm looking at Cairo, Alexandria, Barqua, Jerusalem, Damascus. Those are the cities that are going to be within my empire. So next we're going to look at what my nation was. So here's the Wikipedia on this. So it looks like the capital of my nation is going to be Cairo, which makes sense. So our language is going to be Arabic, obviously. We're also going to be Islamic, but we're going to be a Shia. This is very crucial to how our nation is going to roleplay. Because if you're a Shia, you're going to react differently to your surrounding Muslim nations, depending on what they are. So it looks like the Fatimid military is based on like light armored kind of tribal forces, as you can see here. The Kutama Berber tribesmen. Looks like it's going to be based around more like light armored kind of forces, which is going to be very crucial to how our military will play on the battlefield. It also looks like the Fatimid dynasty is very defensive. Looking at this, it looks like whenever they saw some sort of danger or threat, they put all their military power toward defending their empire. And that's what we're going to be playing as with this Fatimid dynasty. So next, you're going to want to put down cities. So let's put down our capital first, which is Cairo. Cairo is right here. So we're going to say C. Make sure people know this is my capital. This is where my nation is governed from. There we go. Now, this is a new update to Risk Universalis. The cities are more 2D. You can also make them larger. So this is our capital as well as our largest city. So we're going to make it 1.6, which is a pretty nice size. And then next we got Alexandria. Alexandria is going to be our second largest city. So it's going to be not as large as Cairo, but it's going to be pretty large. Also, to color cities and forts and roads, you press the G button and you just click on something. As you can see, I turned my Alexandria city to copper. Now we're going to change it back to the normal, standard issue color, which is dark stone gray. Now, so I finished mapping the cities that are on the map, but I'm missing a bit of area down here next to the Nile River. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to look at my map of Egypt and put down some major cities down in that area on modern times. This is a bit risky, so make sure you look up some of the cities so that you know exactly which cities were founded in what time, so that you don't come off looking as an idiot. So this is a map I use very often for Egypt. I've used it many times with modern Egypt. I play modern Egypt very often. I find it a very nice nation to play because it is a very developing nation and can find many ways to really impact the world. So what we're going to put down is we're going to put down Asyut and Aswan. Now, the last thing we are missing is we are missing some sort of name tag so that people know what this nation is. They will know that this is Fatimid Egypt, most powerful dynasty in the Middle East at this time. To do that, you have two options. The first one is the old school version, which is the one that's been used for a very long time. To get one, simply click the copy and copy someone nearby. Or if it's not available, just type in region into the chat and it will spawn something, it'll spawn a text box over in Africa. So now we are in, click on the text box and you'll be able to edit it. So this is what you would put in. You would put in your nation name. I could say Fatimid Empire, Fatimid Dynasty. I'm saying Fatimid Egypt because I'm trying to explain that this is an Egyptian dynasty. It's basically what I'm saying here with this with the Egypt afterward. The second option was created in the last update. So what you could do is you could put down a city, say Fatimid Egypt in it. Put the size to 2, and then put that. I think it looks nicer, but it's not always available with larger and really small nations. But I think it looks nicer, but it can make your nation a bit crowded, you know, with a bunch of city names everywhere. So be aware of that. Next is diplomacy. Diplomacy is a very crucial part of Risk Universalis 3. It is how you interact with nations in your world. So basically, the only nations that I can interact with are the ones in Europe and the ones in this area down here. And possibly Persia and maybe Scandinavia. That's really about it. Beyond that, I can't really contact them. And if I even could, I probably wouldn't care simply because how far away they are from my position. Now, because I have a Muslim nation, it is hard to interact with Christian nations. As well, because I'm Shia, it makes it more difficult to interact with Sunni Muslims. The only real Shia Muslims in the Middle East at this point are really the Persians, the Egyptians, and maybe some of the Omanis, maybe around that area. Those are the only real Shias at this point. So watch out for that, because it will make diplomacy difficult if people know what they're doing.